like little bond or whatever. So anyway, he took his shirt off. And I was mesmerized. Like, my eyes was like, yeah, he fine. But I just didn't let him see it. Like, I ain't let him know, like, that I... And some way, somehow, he still knew. I don't know. But he knew.
You know what I'm talking about, babe? Yeah. Now it's time for me.
Welcome back to my channel, y'all. It's recording day. So, if you haven't gotten your drink, gotten your snack, get your herbal essence. I'm still drinking this whiskey. Still drinking it. I'm almost finished with whiskey and Coke. If you haven't already, get your snack, get your drink. I just came up the stairs, so I'm breathing hard because your girl just ran up the stairs again. And come back so we can start this video, because y'all clicked on it because y'all nosy. So we're gonna get started. Period. If you clicked on the video, then you want to know about, I mean, this is part one of, I don't know how many parts it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a few because this is a long story. So I've been wanting to tell this story for a while, but I was just like, I don't know when I'm gonna tell it. I don't know. I'm gonna tell it though. So if you're new here, thank y'all so much. I appreciate all the new people, all the old people. I appreciate all the people that's liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. The people that's comment, I read all the comments and I do reply back to all the comments. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I love y'all guys so much. I F with y'all so much. I mess with y'all heavy. I do. Y'all know I do. So if you miss me, I'm here. So I wanted to start this little series, so we're gonna just start it out right here. So this is gonna be I guess the time, we're gonna call it the time that I had 2 boyfriends. But I gotta give you the backstory. So this first part is gonna be the backstory of T. What we gonna call him? I was gonna call him, wait, I was gonna call him, wait, I can't call him that because I was gonna say T. No, we can't call him that. We're gonna call him Ray. This is the story of Ray because this is one of the boyfriends. So this is the time where I had 2 boyfriends, but this is part 1. So this is gonna be probably 3 parts, maybe 4. I don't know how long. I don't know, but it's gonna be a couple parts, but it's gonna get down to the get down. But anyway, so this is the story of Ray. Okay, he was my first everything. First love, first get down. Y'all know what the get down is. The first everything. I met Ray at work. I have a thing with meeting people at work. I done told y'all that. Most of my relationships, I had some type of dealing with them at work. Most of my serious ones, because I met other people too, but that was nothing serious. But my serious ones was like work related. So I met Ray when I was 16. I was 16, but I was gonna be 17 in like 4 months or something like that. I don't know, 4 or 5 months. I don't know. I was like, but I was 16. Okay, so I met Ray, and when I first met Ray, I didn't instantly think that I was gonna be in a relationship. Let me back that up. I wasn't attracted to Ray. That's what I meant to say. I was not looking at Ray to be like, you know how like you see I'm drinking Coke, so I mean Pepsi and whiskey, so I'm sorry about the little burps or whatever. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. But you know how you meet like a person and sometimes you be like the dynamic of like the chemistry, like everything, you just be like, dang, like they fine, like yeah, like that type of, that's not what it was over here. That's not what it was. And Ray was very handsome, very nice looking. I mean, gorgeous man. But it wasn't that, it wasn't that because my mind, like, okay, so for one, I was dating somebody way prior to it. And the person who I was dating, we broke up and my mind was not on a boy, period. Like I was on this money. Like my mind was on making money. Like I wasn't worried about no boy. I wasn't worried about nothing. I just was like, okay, I'm just get this money. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. So the guy before Ray, we was only together for 3 months. So there wasn't nothing serious. That was like, we kids. It wasn't nothing. So I wasn't even tripping or nothing. So when I met Ray, I was like, okay, like in my mind, I'm like, he cute or whatever, but it's work. So my supervisor, I seen him. I seen Ray. Ray, we worked at a grocery store, but we worked on a side that didn't have nothing to do with groceries. We worked on a side that was like the school supply stuff and all that type of stuff. We worked like over there, stationary stuff, in the garden stuff. We was over there. Okay, I seen him, and he was on the aisle with the school stuff, and he was looking at, like, I guess he was looking for something. So I know he worked with me because he had a shirt on or whatever. So I asked him, I said, you what you looking for? Like, that's how I said it. I'm like, what you looking for? You need me to help you? And he was just like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, I'm looking for whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, it's over here. So I'm like, come this way. So I took him, and I'm like, it's right here. I'm like, you knew? He's like, yeah, I just started today, was my first day. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, I work in this area too. I said, if you need help with anything, you want me to help you with whatever, like, I got you or whatever, I help you. And he was like, cool. So I go to the back, and I was like this with my bosses, because it's two of them. He got a boss and I got a boss, but they work like they departments are like sisters. So they work together real close or whatever. So if we help each other out. So I went back there, and they were back there, and I had told them, I said, oh, Ray, I just seen Ray, because eventually, like, he asked me my name. I told him my name. He told me his name, whatever. So I left him out there, and I went in, and I was like, I saw Ray, and they were like, oh yeah, speaking of that, let me talk to y'all together. So I'm like, okay. So his boss was like, Joe is gonna train you so you know how to, like, clean up everything and find everything. Like, she gonna make sure you know everything, so, you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, okay. So they tell us all of that. So I end up training him, and time go on. You know, the busy time come, months go by, whatever. We end up getting super cool with each other. Like, he's so cool, super laid back, chill type of dude. He cool. So we work really good together. So we worked with other people too in our department. I don't know how many of us it was, probably like 7 of us, but we all worked together. It was all working different shifts, and we was all cool with it. Everybody was cool. We all worked together really good, but me and Ray worked the most. Me, Ray, and this other person, we all worked together like the most at night. So, and we young. I'm 16, he 18. He was finna be 19. Because when I met him, he just turned 19. He just turned 19. I'm 16, but I'm gonna be 17. He had just turned 19. I had found it out later, like later. But anyway, because as a matter of fact, no, because after everything, I was 17. Yeah. Okay. Just say, when we started talking to each other, I was 17, because this is how it happened. So it was summertime. I was going to be 17 in the fall, but it's summertime, so I'm still 16 or whatever. So one day, we working, and like I told you, I never looked at him like that. I never looked at him like, oh, this, that. So one day, we had to go out into the trailers and outside. And you know, it's hot. It's Texas. It's hot here. It's hot as fuck. It's hot in the summer. So we go out there, and they were like, oh, we need y'all to take all this stuff out the trailer, and we need y'all to bring it inside. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff that we got to stock or whatever. So they were like, you got to bring all these boxes with the pallet jack, whatever, bring all this stuff in there. But we need y'all to move everything and then bring it inside. So like, okay. So it's hot. So this boy takes off his shirt. When he takes his shirt off, I was like, oh, he got tattoos. He got muscles. He got a 6-pack. He's stacked, like, glistening. I'm looking like, ooh, okay. But the crazy thing is, let me tell y'all this. Before all of this, let's skirt back. Me and him was super cool. So we so cool that I would tell him, like, all the guys, like, I had a little crush on that was working in the store or whatever. And it's this one guy. We're going to call this guy Adam. I'm going to try to remember, because it's a story time. I'm going to tell y'all about Adam. If I got to come back to this to remember his name, because I need y'all to remember Adam. I'm going to do a story time on Adam. So it's this guy named Adam. Adam is my type. If you don't know what my type is, let me bring the type down. I like a whole light skin. Y'all, I done told y'all, light skin. I love me a light skin. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. And he was light skin, tall. He had the basketball shape. Like he worked out, muscles, everything. He wasn't skinny and he wasn't big. He was like the medium build type of guy. Tall. He had to be like 6'1", 6'2". So he was tall, light skin, low cut, had waves, dimples. Oh, body looking like, and he had to be the same age as Ray. He had to be like either a year or two older than Ray or the same age as Ray, but I'm not sure how old Adam was. I wasn't sure. Adam had his own place. That's the thing. Ray had his own place at 19. Ray had his own apartment, car, and a job. Ray moved from another state and moved to Texas and had his own. And Adam, same thing. Adam was from here though. Adam was from Houston, but he played basketball because I would always see him play basketball. We lived in the same neighborhood. Every girl in the neighborhood liked him. Adam played basketball because you know how they had like the basketball courts outside. They had the basketball court outside, and he lived in the apartments that had the basketball court. He would be out there playing basketball. He worked in the store, and he lived across the street. He had his own car. He had his own apartment. Some grown people to me. That's grown. So I had a huge crush on. Crush was huge. Every time I see him, I was like, he fine. Da da da. So Ray knew it because I used to tell Ray, I'm like, oh, he's so fine. Da da da. Now Ray and Adam completely different. Ray is dark skinned. Both of them, I love dimples. Both of them had dimples. I love a man with dimples. Like dimples, you suck me in with dimples. Like I love dimples. He had dimples. He was chocolate. He wasn't as tall. He was probably, I'm 5'10", so he probably was 5'9". He was right there. We was like right, like neck and neck as far as height. But I was a little smidge bit taller. If y'all hear dogs barking, it's my dogs, I'm sorry. He was a smidge bit taller than me, but he was dark skinned, chocolate, dimples, muscular build. Like I told y'all, 6-pack. He worked out too. They all worked out. They all worked out. They all played basketball. They all did all this because they would do it together. And they all smoked. And I like that too. They all smoked. I don't know what it was about the smoking, but I was just like, I don't know. It's just like, because he would smoke around me and I just be like in la la land. Like, so I don't know if it's the way he put it on his lips and blow. I don't know. But it did something to me. I don't know. But anyway, so completely opposite, but still both very handsome. I don't know if handsome men, if they flock together, but at that time back then, they did. And this was like 2000, 2001. This is back. Maybe, yeah, probably like 2000. This is big. They wearing white tees and starter jackets and freaking Jordans and baggy pants. They wear the pants like clothes like 2, 3, 4 sizes the size. They don't even be the size. That's why I didn't know he was built like that, because I ain't know till he took his shirt off. Couldn't tell because everything big on everybody. But anyway, okay, so I don't know where I was left off. Okay, let's get back to the trailer. Okay. Oh, I was telling y'all I had a crush on Adam and he would make fun of me. So he knew that I liked Adam. He knew it. But once that, you know, I knew that that wasn't gonna happen. I just was like, I'm not nothing Adam looking at. This is Adam looking for them fast, them hot girls. I'm not one of them. So like, that's not me. So, and then I didn't really know him like that. Like I knew Ray, me and Ray talk about everything, like talk about where he from, all of this stuff. So we had like, grew like some type of like little bond or whatever. So anyway, he took his shirt off and I was mesmerized. Like my eyes was like, yeah, he fine. But I just didn't let him see it. Like I ain't let him know like that and some way, somehow he still knew. I don't know, but he knew. And that, I don't know how long after that. I'm trying to think how long after that did we start talking to each other. It was very shortly after. It was shortly after. I don't know how far, but anyway, we ended up started talking to each other and we started talking. We started going on dates. We started hanging out. I told you he had his own place. I used to go to his house all the time. He would pick me up all the time. He had his own car. He would drive me off at home. He would take me. I mean, he was the first person to take me out, like on a date. Like I love going outside, like being outdoors. Like I like the traditional go to dinner. He used to do that too. He'd take me out to like restaurants and stuff. But it's a waterfall that's in the Galleria area, like you know, like a little waterfall thing they made. We used to go sit out there on the bench and we sit there for hours, like, cause our schedules was basically like the same. So like when he was off, most of the time I'm off the same day. So we would be together all the time. So he would take me there. He'd take me to the thing when we get off work. Like he'd be like, oh, you want to go do something after work or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. So we go to like, I don't know, somewhere to go eat. He had a lot of friends that worked. He had a lot of friends like everywhere. So we go somewhere and he had like a home girl. That's when I didn't care about guys having girls as friends. He had a friend that worked at a place and we went over there and she like took care of us and brought us drinks and food and like she took care of us and she was cool. So like he was super, super cool. Like we had a good like little vibe. Cool guy. Great guy, actually. But this is where, that's why I say it's gonna be in parts. This is where, cause he would tease me. He would be like, guess where I'm gonna go? I'm like, where? He's like, I'm going to Adam's house to go smoke. Cause they would smoke on the breaks. Like we have our lunch break and he go to his break first and I go after him. He be coming back, that boy be high as a kite, eyes be bloodshot red, low, and he'd be like, do I look high? He used to always ask me that. I'm like, yeah, you do. He's like, I do for real. Like he try to open his eyes big. I do for real. I'd be like, yeah, you do. He's like, can you smell it on me? I'm like, yeah, you can. He was like, you lying. I'm like, no, I'm not. You can't. But he was cool. He was cool. I liked him. He was funny. But this one day, this is when like stuff just went different. So, okay, Ray. Now we're gonna introduce Liam. Liam is the second boyfriend that I had. Remember I told you I had two boyfriends at the same time. So one day, I'm doing my job or whatever, and I didn't know Liam worked there yet. I ain't know nothing about him because he worked in a whole nother place. He worked in the same store, but he worked in another department. So one day, me and Ray, we sitting there in the aisle because this is during back to school time. So like back to school used to be crazy. Like people be ransacking the store, like buying up everything. So we used to just sit there and just watch everybody go crazy over back to school, like how it used to go crazy. Like it was crazy. So we just sit there and we talking, laughing with other people that work in other departments. Everybody used to come in our department and just be chopping it up with us, talking, whatever, laughing, chilling. Like we just be vibing, everybody. So Liam, we see him, and then somebody had brought him over there to us, and we started talking to him, and they started talking about me, Liam. So nobody knew that me and Ray was dating or anything. Nobody knew because we didn't make it like obvious or anything like that. We didn't act like we was together. We just was cool. When we got out of work, we act like we together. But when we was at work, we just, you know, just like we was cool. So Liam ain't know. So Liam had said like something to me or whatever, and I just had smiled or whatever and was just like, nah, it ain't like that. That ain't it. Cause my boyfriend, like right here, he right here. So Ray was just like grinning and stuff, and he was just like, he don't even know, like, you my girl. I'm like, no, cause I mean, you ain't saying that, I ain't saying nothing, so whatever. So time went on, and I kept a mental note of Liam, cause Liam looked like something. So I was like, okay, he looking like something. But I wasn't gonna talk to him. I just mental note, like just like Adam, fine. You know, he in the front, like, you know, keep a note on Adam. So this one day we come into work or whatever, and it was a day that I didn't work. I didn't work this day, but for some reason something had happened. I don't know if they thought that Ray had stole something or something like that. Like they said he stole Carmex. Now come on now, why would he steal Carmex?
What?
Why? I don't know if it was they was just trying to find a reason to let him go. He didn't do anything wrong. Like excuse me, he always did his job right. Like, he never did nothing. He never did a job wrong. He never took nothing, never stole nothing. All he would do is get high on his lunch break and come back. That's it. But he never did nothing else like that would jeopardize him working. And he sure wasn't stealing. He never did nothing like that. So when they told me that they let him go for stealing Carmax, I was just like, what? Then I was off, and he didn't tell me. He didn't call me. He didn't say nothing to me, because I don't know if it's what time it happened. I don't know. I was still going to school at this time, like going to high school. So I had to go to school, whatever. So I don't know. I get out, I get to work or whatever, and they tell me. So I call him, and I'm calling him. He not answering the phone, because he didn't have a cell phone. He had a house phone. So he ain't had no cell phone. I had a cell phone though, but he didn't. So I'm calling him. He's still not answering the phone. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. So I called this one day, and a girl answered the phone. I know y'all like, a girl. Now, he had a lot of girl cousins that he told me they was his girl cousins, but I wasn't for sure if they was. I don't know. I can't tell them they ain't your cousin. I don't know. And this is before I was the investigator that I am today. Like, y'all gonna find out about the investigator Joe, because I am a private eye investigator. I will find out what's your mama blood type. Like, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out with your grandma. I'm gonna find out everything. Like, trust, it's gonna get fine. I'm gonna find out. But back then I wasn't like that. So I answered the phone. I mean, the girl answered the phone, and she's like, hello? And I'm like, hello? I'm like, can I speak to Ray? And she's like, he's not here right now. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, do you know when he gonna be back? She's like, I'm not sure when he'll be back, but she's like, can I ask who calling? And I told her my name. You know, I'm like, just Joelaunda. And I'm like, can you please tell him to call me? Because I've been calling him every day. I think 3 days had went by, and he still ain't called me. He ain't say nothing to me. I don't know if it's because he got fired and he mad, he trying to find a job. I don't know what's going on with him. And I couldn't just drive to his house because I didn't have a car. Remember, he had a car. He the one who was picking me up and stuff like that. And at this time, this was before I would take my dad. Like, my dad didn't start letting me take his car until I turned 17. When I turned 17, I had my dad's truck all the time. But this is before that. So he had, he took my, he took that. So we did that and everything. I was smitten with this person. Like, I was in puppy love, because I won't even say I was in love. I was in puppy love. So I was with him all the time. I was with him all the time. So I was just like, okay, he ain't called me. He ain't saying nothing to me. I don't know what's going on. So I was just like, okay, it's weird. So I'm just like, can you just let him know that I called? And can you tell him to please call me? Because I'm trying to find out what's going on. And she's like, yeah, I will. 6 years passed before I even spoke to Ray.
Cut the cameras. Dead end.
6 whole years. Because I was it 6 years? No, 5. Because I was 16. Then I turned 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 6. 20. I ain't see him till I was 22. 22 years old. That's when I seen Ray. And it started like it never stopped. I saw him, and he called me this little pet name. So when I saw him, I called his name, and he said my pet name. And I was just shocked that I had seen him, because where I saw him at was like a weird place. I'm gonna say this. This is the end of this. I'm gonna tell y'all the next part 2. Part 2 is gonna be Liam. And I'll get into that. But when I seen Ray, because I'm trying to remember what I named. When I seen Ray, what was I trying to say? When I seen him, yeah, I said it picked up like it never left off. Like, we just was like, it was like nothing. Oh, I was trying to say, like, I feel like this as I got older. If you don't know, I'm a lot older. I'm a lot older. I'm 38. And as time had went on, going through my 20s, going in my 30s, now I'm about to interject into my 40s in a few years. So with the time, I always be saying this: people be put in your life to help you through certain situations. And Ray definitely was one of those pieces that was put in my life to help me through certain situations that I was going through. I told y'all that I had went through like a really dark time. I met back up with Ray during the darkness, and he was like the light for me. And I'm not just saying that because he was definitely like the light for me. I could talk to him about all type of stuff, and he had so much good advice, so much good stuff to tell me, so much guidance that it was like, that way that I seen him, that I told you I seen him, and I called his name and he called me my little pet name, and then it just like, it never stopped. It was just like, we just picked up, like we never wasn't talking for 6 whole years. So it was, he was put like at that time when I had went through the little stuff I went through, he was put there, and I'm gonna tell y'all about that because it's gonna come into play. And we're gonna leave it right here, and then I'm gonna pick it up and we'll do a part 2. I'll do a part 2, and I'm gonna talk about Liam because it's gonna be a couple of stories about Liam. Liam, he's major. He's major. Yeah, he major, and y'all gonna be like, wow, yeah, it's major. But if you like the story, this is just part 1. I'm gonna give y'all the other parts. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned, and I got you. We gonna finish the saga of how I had 2 boyfriends at the same time, and they knew about each other. Because I need y'all to know they knew about each other, and they were okay with it. So we gonna talk about that. Until next time, I see y'all in my next upload. Bye. Thank y'all so much for the support and love in the comments and everything. Leave a comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you like me, do all that. Y'all know what I do. And I see y'all. Bye.